Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good evening. Good morning. I think we can start. Mr. Leo, uh, Madam Amahali, and Madam Anna will join us shortly, and Dr. Nupur. First of all, thanks to all of you for making time to be here with us. Today webinar will be about innovation at the intersection of finance, climate, biotechnology, and health security. Today, climate change, finance, environmental degradation, and demographic transition are reshaping global health risk and accelerating the demand for resilient, sustainable, and locally adaptable biotechnological solutions. At the same time, advances in drug discovery, genomic, and biotechnology are progressing faster than regulatory framework, investment model, financing access, and climate alignment strategies can adapt. This webinar today will provide a high-level discussion to explore how biotechnology, drug discovery can be aligned with climate resilience, health security, and sustainable development priorities. Today, we are proud to have the very high-level profile with strong and solid experiences. They will share with us from their experience, and they will explore with us from their experience how we can bring our mind and our idea together to innovate finance for health, finance for climate, biotechnology, and health security, and how investment strategy and wealth management actors can align their vision and strategy to help multi-sectorial system. Hello?
Yes, Dr. Allama, we can hear you.
I lost your video, sorry. Then yes, today we have Dr. Napul Kohlis. She's not yet here. Madam Ana Cristina Hernandez Belmer, Dr. Asma Abu Obeid, Dr. Daniel Leo Garcia, and Madam Amahali El Mehdi. The keynote speech will be done by my sister and co-leader at Innovation in Sustainability and Climate, Dr. Amna Ali Farhat. Then I will leave the floor to Dr. Amna Ali Farhat to make her keynote speech, and I will introduce one by one all the speaker, and I will invite them to introduce themselves. Dr. Amna.
Thank you, Dr. Allama. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's a privilege to welcome you to this distinguished session organized by the Sustainability and Climate Innovation Community under the leadership of the Global Innovation Institute and the Global Innovation Summit. This webinar brings together four critical areas: finance, climate, biotechnology, and health security. Today, these areas are no longer separate. Climate change is already affecting health systems around the world. It changes how diseases spread and it affects how biotechnology and medicines are developed and produced. Because of this, sustainability is now a core part of innovation. In biotechnology and drug discovery, success is not only about speed or technology. It's also about resilience and long-term impact. This is the perspective that will guide today's discussion. And it's always my pleasure to be with the co-leader, Dr. Allama Al-Mahdi, who will moderate the webinar. Thank you. Dr. Allama?
Thank you, Dr. Amna. Thank you for your inspiring keynote speech. And here we are. I will ask Dr. Asma Abu Obeid to introduce herself. Dr. Amna, Asma?
Yes, yes, Dr. Alama, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you first for this opportunity to speak here. So I'm Dr. Asma Abu Obeid. I'm assistant professor of molecular biology and genetics in Abu Dhabi University. I conduct research and I'm interested actually in cancer research, specifically in molecular, cellular and molecular signaling, which is related to GPCR signaling that is involved in cancer environment. And also I'm interested in integrative oncology. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Asma. Thank you for your introduction. Let's give the floor to Dr. Daniel Garcia. Dr. Daniel Garcia, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. I apologize. I'm just running out of a meeting now and gonna sit down and turn on my camera. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Okay. Dr. Daniel
Okay, I'm
Garcia,
here. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
can
Thank you. Yes.
you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Yes, my name is Dr. Daniel Leo Garcia, and thank you, ladies, so much for coming together like this. Thank you, Dr. Alama. I'm the founder of the largest women's empowerment organization in the world, and we are in over 52 prime ministers and presidents' wives worldwide. We will become the official women empowerment organization this year in the White House with President Trump. So, of course, my big concern is healthcare all over the world. In the United States, we have great healthcare. Could always be better, but my concern is other parts of the world that don't have it and how we can improve it. And so, I'm very interested in this, and our organization is behind anything and wants to further support how we can do something that will help more people in medical.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Let's give the floor to Madam Anna Hernandez. Anna?
Hello, everyone. Am I going through well?
Yes. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today here. It's my big pleasure to participate in this webinar today. Currently, my name is Ana Cristina. I have 12 years of international experience in the area of wealth management, always working at the intersection between governments and private entities. The wealth management that I've been specialized in is mainly covering the scope of health, life sciences, fintechs as well, and ESG. Currently, I'm leading the loyalty strategy and strategic partnerships and alliances at a governmental bank here in Qatar. I've been leading some investment portfolio of venture capital funds in Abu Dhabi, working alongside tender committee with the Abu Dhabi Authority, Dubai Authority, Future Fund, Future Foundation, sorry, in Dubai. Sorry for my Spanish accent. And I'm here today to cover this topic, wealth management and investment in connection to the areas of health and biotech.
Thank you, Anna. Now the floor will be for Madam Amahali to introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amahali. Thank you for having me to this webinar. I'm the founder of Connect AI. We are kind of digital accelerator for startups and incubators out there. So what we do today is mostly creating an ecosystem where we can support venture and make sure that VCs can have return, ventures can grow, and accelerators can support the right way their startups. That's a long story short. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you to all of you for making time and for accepting to share your impressive experience with us today. In Global Innovation Institute, we are very glad to work and to share experience and to innovate with impressive profile like each one of you here. Let's start by Dr. Asma. From your background, from a molecular biology perspective, how are biological process and genetic mechanism relevant to understanding emerging health risk in the context of climate change and global disruptions?
Thank you for the question, Dr. Alama. Actually, this is a very important question. It's a very nice question. So from a molecular biology point of view, climate change affects health because it puts a new types of stress on our cells, on the genes, and also even on microbes that can cause disease. So if there is a higher temperature, air pollution, or environmental toxins, it's all can lead to something that's called cellular stress. The cellular stress can lead to the production of oxidative stress. Oxidative stress can lead to increase the amount of ROS. ROS are reactive oxygen species, which can lead to damage in the DNA. Damaging the DNA means producing new mutations, specifically if these mutations are in genes which are important for protecting ourselves from diseases, from cancer occurrence. That can lead to genomic instability inside the cell and increase the risk of having these chronic diseases like cancer and cardiovascular disease or respiratory disorders. It also can not only it affect our cells or our genes, it also can affect the microbes, the pathogens like viruses, bacteria, because if there is a higher humidity or higher temperatures, environmental pollutions, these microbes can adapt faster, and which increases the mutational rate in these microbes, and that lead to the production of new variants. Production of new variants, it means diseases which can't be, which we can be, or our immune system is not able to defend against. So, for example, to make it very simple, mosquito-borne viruses, and an example of that is the Zika or Zika virus, or I forgot the other example. But if there is a warmer climate, what will happen is that these mosquitoes will start to spread into other regions and carrying new viruses or viruses that evolved and have new mutations. This means that there will be an emergence of or outbreak of new type of diseases. So this is at the molecular and cellular level. Also, if there is malnutrition, heat stress, pollution, all of these factors can alter the immune cell function and gene regulation. So this makes the people are more vulnerable to infections and can affect the cytokine gene expression under this chronic stress, which also can weaken our antiviral responses. So, in simple words, climate change, pollution, toxins, it all can make biological stress on our cells, on our genes, on the microbes, which leads to the emergence of diseases like chronic diseases, like cancer, respiratory diseases, cardiovascular diseases. So understanding these molecular and genetic mechanisms can help us predict which diseases will emerge, how pathogens will evolve, and which populations will be most at risk. So this is why biology is essential for anticipating future health threats in changing climate.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Asma. Very interesting. Let's go to Madam Anna Hernandez. How does trust-driven leadership support a stronger partnership across sectors? In your perspective as wealth management, we know that even we are building framework, we cannot implement framework and any other projects without sustainable investment. From your perspective, how that can accelerate climate-aligned biotech and health solutions?
Thank you very much for your question, Dr. Alama. Thank you very much for your intervention, Dr. Asma. So I'm here to speak a little bit of the boring side of the science, right? The funding, the sustainable growth. But at the end of the day, it's all related, right? So whenever we speak about climate, about health innovation, about biotech, we focus on three main things, right? Technology, science, but also we need to look at the capital itself. So we'll be able, as a scientific and innovative community, we will only be able to create real impact when all of those come together, right? Whenever innovation comes to the game, most of the advancements and this innovation failure, not because of the science itself, but because the actors and the stakeholders involved don't align, such as institutions, regulatory bodies, government, researchers, implementers. We all work under different frameworks, different pressures. So innovation will always only deliver by the time all of these forces move together. And then is when trust-driven leadership comes to the game, right? So by the time I speak about trust-driven leadership, it's not only leadership, but that leadership which is founded in the highly recognized value of trust, which is not a soft value. It's an infrastructure indeed. It's the foundation of everything we are building today. So when it comes to the perspective of institutions, what they are searching for, they are thinking in terms of legitimacy and resilience. Whenever we go to the investor's perspective, we will look a bit more on the side of risk and return. Whenever we go from a physicist, scientific perspective, the values that will be guiding us will be evidence and integrity. So trust allows all of these values to connect under a clear framework. And whenever that comes, whenever that's enhanced and that's enabled, then collaboration starts creating real impact. The second reason why trust is key in the area of leadership is because it allows to translate, to say somehow, all of those perspectives that I just spoke about, the languages, the codes that I just spoke about in terms of risk, in terms of return, in terms of legitimacy, in terms of evidence and integrity. Trust will allow us to translate all of those perspectives, again, under one language. So this way, we will prevent to create misunderstandings, to prevent and avoid misalignment, and to make that real progress to move forward. And on a third and last stage, from the expertise that, alhamdulillah, I have had throughout my career, trust in the area of investment and wealth management creates long-term commitment, which in the areas of climate, ESG, health, and innovation, it's key, again, to pilot failures and to course correction along the way. So this way, partnerships, trusted partnerships, will allow the community, scientific and investment community, to survive all these challenges without falling apart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna, for your great contribution. Now I'm coming to Dr. Daniel. Dr. Daniel, I would like to ask you, what can be the role of gender equitable leadership and inclusive governance for innovation and investment outcome in biotechnology and other field, from your perspective as a player in gender equity around the world?
Well, I think on our part and the position we're in and the accessibility that we have to world leaders, I think that the message is important, but the messenger is also, I think, even more important. Who's delivering the message? So on our side, through our organization, when we practice something like this, we like to find our target. You know, for example, these world leaders, I think, are the people that we need to get a hold of, the ones that we need to go to directly and deliver a message like this. And on our part, you know, we have the accessibility to do that. And because of us being the messenger and the reputation and the people that we have connected within our organization, you know, it 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 almost forces their hand to look at this something like this, uh, more serious. And we provide, we provide votes in certain countries. Um, they rely on us for a lot of things that they need from us. So I think on our part, we would be, we would be very, very good as being the messenger to carry these ideas and carry, because I think you're the experts. You deal with this in and day out, and I'm happy to be here because we have to. Being a women empowerment organization, and I'm also the CEO to the California Women's Conference, which is the largest women's conference in the world. It's important to hear these because we take this to the people that we feel, or that you lead us, or that you need to be, that you tell us this person we can't get a hold of. We want to have this front and center. So I think that's the part that we're great in, and that's I think where we could come in and help.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel, for your impressive contribution. It's very, how we said, we cannot innovate without collaborating with each other, and gender equity is one of the pillar of multidimensional collaboration to innovate in all sector. Let's go to AI. We are going now. I'm going to Amma Hali. How can ecosystem connectivity and strategic market entry support biotech and health startup in scaling impact-driven solutions? At the end, all is about impact. How can we be impactful?
Thank you for your question, Alama, Dr. Alama. Today, the problem in the ecosystem is sadly its inefficiency. Even though we want to build an ecosystem to support connecting the right people to grow together, to achieve certain things, sadly, sometimes it tends to distract more than anything else. So I think when we want to create the best ecosystem, it should be purposeful and with action driven. So let's say today, in the best scenario, when you have the best ecosystem with a clear, smart strategy, and you know exactly what you're looking for and you enter that market, you can bring a very good impact. But if we decide to, for example, coming into an ecosystem, let's say a business from France wants to come to UAE. Now the problem is that even though you introduce them to people and they are in the right ecosystem to build something, it will impact only if they have the right joint ventures, for example, or if they have the right data. Because let's say in health industry, biotechnology, they need data, they need information, they need research. All that is it's a data and knowledge that they need. And if they are in the right ecosystem and the right partners entering in that market and acknowledging the impact of health in that market will bring more impactful business entry. It's the same for funding. It's nice to enter in a market, but some of the businesses need funding. They need funding for their research, funding to develop the business. That's if they don't already have it from the country they were in. It's the same for being aware and acknowledging behaviors. So when you have the right network and you know how the local issues can be and how the population and the market behave, you can have a better and impactful entry in the market. But that needs the right ecosystem, it needs the right knowledge and the right actions. So from my hand, I think it's a good thing to have the right ecosystem and the right market entry, but it's need most before everything, it's need the right people and a purpose with action. That's the hardest part, but there is a lot of ecosystem out there that comes with that side. Thank you for your question. I hope it helps.
Thank you so much, Mahali. Today we are moving in a new era of digital technology. Unfortunately or fortunately, we cannot do anything today without digital. Let's go back to Dr. Asma. Dr. Asma, what role does scientific research at the molecular and cellular level plays in health security and preparedness framework?
Thank you, Dr. Alama, for this question. Actually, it's really important to understand the importance of research at the molecular and cellular level in health security. So it's in my opinion, it's the foundation for health security. Why? Because it allows us to detect the threats early and also to respond to them precisely. So, for example, at the smallest scale, disease begins usually with what? With changes in cells and genes. So when a virus appears or when a pollution happens or heat start damaging the body, the first signal is what? It will be changes at the molecular level, changes in the DNA, changes in the RNA, in the proteins, in the immune responses. So by studying these changes, scientists, or we can identify the danger long before the large outbreaks or the serious disease, even before the disease happens. So, for example, during COVID-19, genome sequencing, which is a tool that it came out because of research, molecular and cellular biology research. So this genome sequencing, it allows us to quickly predict or not predict, to identify the virus and also to track the changes or the mutations in COVID-19 and to design vaccines. In 2 years, we could design a vaccine to prevent the outbreak of, it was an outbreak actually, but to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So this is the molecular biology directly supporting the global preparedness. And the same thing, it applies to influenza, to antimicrobial resistance, and also emerging zoononic viruses. At the cellular level, so I was talking about the molecular level, but at the cellular level, we also study how the immune cells react or respond. So by understanding which immune cell was activated or what genes was switched on, so with this, we can design better vaccines, target therapies, and also diagnostic tools. So tools like PCR, genomic surveillances, and even CRISPR-based diagnostic, it all came from this kind of research. So in summary, in simple words, molecular biology tells us what the threat is, cellular biology tells us how the body reacts, and all together we can detect earlier, respond faster, and treat more precisely. So health security it's not only about hospitals and policies. It all starts from the lab. So there we understand the genes, the cells, and that will allow us to predict the outbreaks, control them, and protect the population before the crisis become a disaster. So I hope I elaborated on the importance of molecular and biological research. I hope it was clear. Thank you.
Yeah, it was very clear. What can we do without research? All is starting by research, all is updating by research. Research is a driver, not only for innovation, but research is driving where we are today, what we need, and also it's helping us uh, to to make the proper strategy for uh, for each system, especially in health. And only by research we can know what we need and how can we get it in short and long term. And there is no research without again funding. How can we do without money? Let's
The
go
most important
ahead.
thing for
Yeah,
research.
exactly. The most important things for research. We need research to know how much we need for health, for world disaster, and we also need money to finance that research. Then let's go to Madame Anna to talk about. Anna, are you here?
So thank you for your amazing contribution, Dr. Asma.
Thank you. Then I would like to ask you your next question.
Yes.
From your strong expertise, very impressive journey, what strategies from your vision you think that can make an investment framework more inclusive and socially responsive while maintaining financial rigor in all sectors from your perspective?
Strategies make investment framework more inclusive and socially responsive while maintaining financial rigor. That's a very difficult and very easy question at the same time, Dr. Alam. So, well, from my humble perspective, one thing is clear, is that us as a community, the society usually think of inclusive and socially responsive investment as a as a threat that weakens any kind of financial discipline or a rigor in this case, right? To me, that idea is a bit outdated because indeed, as I very well said, after more than 10 years of conducting due diligence to both private and institutional entities, if anything, exclusion means the opposite. So exclusion is the risk indeed. Why? Because what exclusion is overlooking is that by the time we move forward with an inclusive investment, we are improving the way risk is identified. So those social or environmental factors that we are overlooking are actually integrated within all the risk framework. So hence, we need to integrate it into our due diligence, صح? This way, the investors and the VC funds or whatever investment entity that we are looking at will have a more realistic, a more comprehensive view of what's the performance and the reality that we are facing in terms of risk perception, in terms of long-term value, in terms of impact. So factors such as what we are discussing today, duly discussing today, such as health, access, climate, system sustainability, and so on, those factors will reduce volatility and irregularity throughout this financial framework.
Thank you, Anna, for insightful contribution. Let's after research, money, and now let's go back to one of collaboration pillars. Let's go to Dr. Danielle. Dr. Danielle, what role does impact investment play in advancing both climate resilience and gender equity in health and life science innovation? We know that health is wealth and wealth is health, and all of them is depending on men and women.
Yes, obviously, without health, none of us can do anything. So, I also wanted to mention, thank you, Dr. Asma, for your research. It's a very, very important, and I would love in one of our next big events to raise money for such research because we don't know what other things can be cured, and the older I get, I seem to what I was able to sustain at 20, I couldn't do at 30, and at 40 it changes. So, from the foods to, and I think research is very, very important. But with this topic, yes, I believe that again, awareness is very important, and bringing it to the right people that can make those decisions. And by being able to be on the biggest panels and some of the biggest events and bringing these topics up, a lot of people, like myself, for example, I'm finding out more and more as I get more involved uh, in medicine and the medical business, all the things that people that are involved in a lot of different investments don't know about. And if they knew about it, then, you know, then they would be able to. And I got to tell you something, it's not always about investing in something like this. It's not always about making money back, or interest back. But, I was a Wall Street financier for 25 years, and I was involved in a lot of different investments where the investors, including myself, said, you know what? I'm not going to make any money from this investment. They're going to use the money for this, that, and the other, for a great cause, humanitarian cause. But if I get my money back, that's great. But I don't need to make money from this, you know? And even if I lost the money, I was okay because I said, you know what? Look what it's going to. For example, research or, you know, anything in medicine, I think it's never a loss. I think but again, it's awareness. And I would love to be more involved, Dr. Alama, with your group and see how we can, bring this up. Because when we're talking at our events, we have millions and millions of viewers worldwide, and we're in a humanitarian organization. And more importantly, why it's women empowerment is because without women, men can do nothing. Without my father, my mother, my father was not a father. Without my mother, my father cannot be a husband. He cannot be a man. He cannot be our father. So because of the very important role that women play in society, you know, um, we're able to bring this at our events because we have just as many men in our organization as we have women. So by having both genders there, it's a reminder to men that, hey, all of us men, we have a mother, daughter, sister, you know, females in our families. So, you know, but again, I think it's very important at these global scale events to be able to mention this. And I'm all for, and I'm so happy, Dr. Lama, that you're having me here today because I get to hear things that normally you hear them in passing, but you don't put much importance in. But really, this is really sinking up what I'm hearing today. And I'm proud to say that at our next event, I will definitely um, want to be advised by you on what topic we can bring up on, at the podium in front of millions of viewers. What can we talk about in medicine? So that's my
Thank you so much, Dr. Danielle, and thank you for your invitation for collaboration. Yes, we will plan and we will organize it with the Global Innovation Institute board. As you can see in Global Innovation Institute, we have a very important orientation to collaboration, because for us, we cannot see any sustainable innovation without collaboration. And all this kind of initiative are very welcome to our institution and our network. Even in health, as I mentioned previously, after Dr. Asma contribution, we cannot do anything without money and without collaboration. All support will be very welcome, but the most important for us is to make impact and to help the system to innovate, to bring innovative projects. Let's go to Amahali Digital. Madam Amahali, what's from your great experiences around the world in digital, what are the key challenges that early stage ventures face when linking innovation with investment, particularly in Africa and emerging countries? We know that in all sectors, especially in health, startups are facing in a very big challenge to get access to support and support their initiative. Then we have today too many startups and too many innovative idea and projects are dying every day. What from your experience you think that there's key challenges can at early stage venture face when linking innovation with investment?
It's
Florence.
very fun to have this question today because Friday I went to an event and they speak up loud about certain subjects I will highlight, and they confirm that today the support system we have for early stage ventures are it's broken. They lack of everything. They lack of the right environment. They lack of the right network. They lack of the right operation. And I see so many startup events. I see so many startup ecosystems, but rare are the startups that succeed out of it. And that say loud and that say a lot. Today, most of the startups that become unicorns, it's not out of the ecosystem. Most of the time, they did it like business owners, not like startups. And let's take, for example, today the lack of knowledge. When we go to incubators and accelerators, they have a lot of programs. We had it Friday. They asked some questions to people out there. They asked questions like, oh, how many of you join some accelerators programs or incubators programs? Rarely are people that answered. And then they ask from the people that answered and finished those programs, which one find like that they got good knowledge out of it and that it was useful. None of them answered. And out of that also they asked, okay, so if you have to do it again, will you? And all of them say no. And that say a lot. Today, incubators and accelerators, they are trying their best. They know they want to help, but they are helping from what they think startups need, not what exactly startups need. And they are taking every program like it fits to everybody. But each startup have a special need. And they all have a special need. They need knowledge, they need team, they need fund, they need right partners. And whenever you hear into startups, they all push startup for the same thing. Build your MVP. You have to fundraise. You have to do your pitch deck. You have to do demo day. Everything is around that. Like a business is only made for that. But a business is bigger than that, and it needs more than that. It needs self-development. It needs to be a founder to be able to run a business. It needs the knowledge. It needs the team. But pushing a startup to have the knowledge of a marketer instead of knowing how to manage a marketer, it's already something failing. You are asking them to be a founder, to be a marketer, to be a salesman, to be a CFO, to be everything. They end up burnout. And all of that before even having any fun. So the ecosystem is just distracting them and asking them to do certain things, and they just end up being like, okay, do I have to do this or paying my bill? They are literally surviving, wondering if they have to pay their ChatGPT subscription or paying their own bills, personal bills. So expecting from early stage founders to operate like to get distracted and operate like a random business or like a business that have a lot of money and time to waste, it's already leading the startup into failure. And the same for fundraising. It's not everybody that can fundraise. There is many business out there. They just expect and they wish someone see them. But they are so passionate and busy into building the business that they don't think, sometimes they don't even know they can have the chance to fundraise because they go, maybe they try, and they go and they try to fundraise, but they try 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. But every time they are with the wrong investors. People that today, if you fundraise in the startup ecosystem, it's just because you know someone. Most of the time, you don't fundraise if you don't know someone. And that tells a lot. There is a lot of business dying out there. And I know they're trying their best, and same for operations. In the early stage, when they try to operate, because action is bringing results at the end, but action need operation, and operation need team need money. And even if you have the money, you need the team, the right team, having the right team. And all that is efficiency, how to build the right pipeline, how to build the right workflow. All that is taking time, energy, knowledge, and we thought about technology to help that. In AI, you'll see that every time we try to automate your workflow, we try to automate your business to save you time, to save you money, because there is thousands of subscription out there. And that's money. Subscription is money. Learning how to use those tools is money. Even those technology that were supposed to help are not helping today. They are just distracting and confusing. But if only, and that's what we're trying also to do with Connect today, and we are working hard on this one, it's to centralize operations into the startup ecosystem, because VCs need to work with startups. They need this accessibility, they need data, they need information, they need trust. Same for operations. If they can just stop having 1,000 subscriptions there for Slack, there for ChatGPT, there for anything, they have 1,000 subscriptions to pay. If they can avoid the subscription, if they can avoid to have to send every time pitch deck to 1,000 people, but they just let the VCs that are interested about them to come to them, Same for accelerators, if they have the right support way for startups by communicating with them, knowing what they exactly need, I think we will go somewhere. But this centralization of operation, but also this collaboration, need the involvement of each stakeholder. They need, if it's possible, to even sit all together and be like, okay, this is what each of us need, and this is how we can make our operations smooth for all of us together. But that's something we are working on, and I hope it will bring as far that we hope, like, and we wish for. And I think the need is more than there. And until this is fixed, we will not really go far. So thank you. I hope it helps
Mm,
and answers.
Thank you, Mahali. Very interesting. How we said, we don't need a perfection. We need action. We need to take action, and we can make it perfect on the way. Let's go back to the best way to take action, and to the right way to make perfect any action we are taking. Let's go back to Dr. Asma. Dr. Asma, how can academia, especially biological sciences and genetics research, better interface with policy and investment stakeholder to accelerate biological informed innovation in health system? How what we said previously, we need money. We need money for research, and we need research to build a framework, and we need again money to implement this framework we are building, and we need money to update this framework to try to make them perfect for the system. Floor is yours.
This is very important point, actually, Dr. Alama. Thank you, Dr. Daniel. You touched really an important point, and this is the challenge actually that we face in research. Grant money, and always it should give us a product at the end. This is the problem. It's highly competitive. It's only given to the research that can ends up with a product or ends up with a benefit. This is the problem. So back to the point, to make the biological and genetic research useful for our community, universities for sure need to work more closely with the policymakers and also with the investors, and communicate in a simple, in a common language that they can, both parties can understand. So in the universities, in the academia, we actually produce strong data about diseases, genes, health risks, but usually the information stays in the scientific papers. We publish this data, but it stays in the paper. So, and it doesn't always reach those who make health policies or funding decisions, unfortunately. So we need better connections between scientific discoveries and real-world decision makers. So for policymakers, scientists should explain their results in a clear and practical way. This is the gap actually between the policymakers and the scientists, between the universities and the community. So for example, genetic data that we produce, we can show which population at high risk of specific disease like cancer, for example, or for some infections. If this can be communicated to the policymakers, it can help to plan screening, vaccination, and also prevention programs. Regarding the investors and industry, the biological research make it easier for them, or it lowers the risk. So, for example, when the molecular research study confirms a drug target, let's say, or a biomarker, or diagnostic tool for a specific disease or a new disease or rare disease. Then it becomes, if it's communicated to the investors or the industry, it will be easier. It becomes easier to invest and develop these ideas into a real world medical product that can benefit the community. So in the universities, what we do, or we should do actually, and we are applying this in Abu Dhabi University, that we train the students in biological, in translational research, not only basic research. Also, we work closely with hospitals, public health authorities, and biotech companies. But the important thing that it should be really applied, we should take part in advisory groups where science can guide the policy and funding. So in summary, in simple words, biology or biological research that we are doing, it provides the evidence, the policy sets the direction, and the investments makes the implementation possible. So when these three works together, new health solutions can really reach people faster and improve the preparedness and care. But it's really, I just want to emphasize that it's really important for the investors and the industry to really, as Dr. Daniel mentioned, they really should support research, even basic research, because all the medical products, they are invented because of the basic research. So they should really take care or look at this point of view, not only to fund the research which will end up with invention of new drug, or because this will, the basic research actually, it takes time. A good research takes time and it's also expensive. So I hope I was clear. And thank you for this opportunity to communicate our ideas.
Hey, I want to
Dr.
thank you
Alama.
again, Dr. Alama, for having me here, because again, I just found something that's really absolutely shocking to me, that sometimes this research only gets published, but it doesn't go anywhere. But putting it in our hands, we'll make sure that it goes somewhere. So, wow, I'm really shocked because we deal with policymakers. When President Trump was running for office in 2016, he called our organization to get the vote from our side. And so, we have that access, and we would like to utilize it for something important like this. And I'm so happy that I'm here because we will talk later, Dr. Alama, about how we can, get as much of this research paper that's been published that didn't reach the levels that it could reach and should reach, and see if we can make a difference. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Asma. Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Yes, there is too many opportunity of collaboration between us. With Dr. Asma, we are sharing too many other activities and too many interesting and impactful and very strong communities, like women in biotechnology, full of strong, determined women who are working daily, every day on research, and are trying their best to help system for with research and innovation. We will be more than happy in Global Innovation Institute, and also why not with women in biotech to collaborate with women empowerment initiative and Californian Women Forum. Let's go ahead now. Let's talk about building trust and a strategic ecosystem that enable equitable and sustainable innovation. We are talking about investment, about research, about framework, about startup, and and about finance, about climate change. But there is some things that more important to make sure that we can implement a strong coordination and strong collaboration between all the stakeholders. And the pillar, the pillar of that point is based on the trust, the trust to give money and the trust to receive money. We used to think that you need only investor need to trust the project before to give his money, but also the project owner need to trust the investor before to take his money. And here receiver will not only be startup but also researcher, institutions, and all kind of investment opportunities. Then I'm going to, for that aspect, I'm going to Madam Anna Christina, with her very strong and impressive background in wealth management that I'm respecting very well. Madam Anna, from your view, how can a strategic partnership ecosystem help to bridge gaps between innovation, regulation, and impact delivery?
Thank you very much, Dr. Adama. Thank you very much. So first of all, I wanted to appreciate the action-oriented rather than perfection-oriented discussion that we are having today. Actually, throughout my doctoral research in experiential learning applied to executive environments, that was the only reason that helped me pushing forward along the way. The real outcome is the reason why we are all here today, right? To create impact, to make it happen. So I will start with something a bit uncomfortable in terms of the bridge that you just mentioned, Dr. Alama. I believe in climate and health rather than innovation. The problem is it's not innovation itself. So the technology works, the therapy works, the model works, scientific model works, the tool more works. Everything is feasible, is doable. But the actual challenge usually is, as some of you already commented, to make it, to get it to that point that it will reach the right audience. It will reach the people, it will reach the market, it will reach the systems, that specific niche or segment of the society that actually needs the therapy, the solution, the science. So usually we have this scenario: innovation moves very fast, regulation moves very carefully, and the implementation gets stuck somewhere in the middle. So usually in this, let's say, lack of alignment between the steadiness and the speed of innovation, the caution from regulation, and the implementation trying to get somewhere in between these two, the impact is somehow lost in the middle. So strategic partnerships, the ecosystem, the partnership ecosystem, the bridge comes to the game in that scenario, right? That's why strategic partnerships is key. So I like to look at it from this way. The first reason why strategic partnerships is important is timing. We need to look at the timing, at the time factor. So partnerships will allow these three aspects, these factors, innovation, regulation, and implementation, to connect at the right time. That is to be. So not once the funding is done, not once the money is spent, not once the finish line is is reached. But at this time, at the early stage, when regulators, implementers, funders, fundraising, regulatory bodies, implementation, all together is still immature, to say somehow. It's the early stage of it. It's when we can really connect so that we can avoid certain surprises, we can avoid the friction, we can avoid the delays. On the other side, as very well Dr. Alama mentioned, the trust. So trust will also enable to connect the right people at the early stage. Like also Dr. Daniel Garcia mentioned, high-level exchange driven by purpose, no? So even if the ideas will fail, even if ideas can fail, even if people don't trust the people who's behind those initiatives, we would be expecting, like also Dr. Asma mentioned, the sponsorship and the endorsement of the institutions, which will also enable this trust to come within and to make things happen. So institutions such as universities, public bodies, certain platforms, so that we decrease the risk and endorse credibility, trust along the way. And also, I believe accountability would be a very, very important part of the whole landscape that I'm describing. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the numbers. Yes, I'm a finance person. I've worked in wealth management, like even Dr. Daniel mentioned. He knows a lot about this field. He has an extensive expertise in that scope. But it's not just about the numbers. It's not just about the KPIs, the return, the ROI. It's about the purpose itself, the real ownership. So accountability is key, is critical to that approach, right? So who will take responsibility when something fails? Who will stay committed when something succeeds? So both timing, trust, and accountability are definitely the factors that will enable this strategic partnership ecosystem to create the bridge and to allow to make the space for innovation, regulation, and implementation to connect and create real impact along the way. Thank you, Dr. Ala.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Very interesting. It's related to what Amahali said previously. Even if we give them team or we give them money, we need to show them how to manage their money and how to manage their team.
Exactly.
Is the heart of trust building between the project owner and any kind of investors. Now let's go to the gender responsive investment model and leadership in innovation ecosystem. I'm going to give the floor to Dr. Daniel Garcia. I would like to ask you how can intergender and cross-sector leadership models unlock scalable and sustainable biotech solutions?
Well, I think this panel of all of us together is a perfect example because, where we might have the access, we need these voices and this experience. And we have Anna Cristina, who is an expert in her field in finance and medical. And we have Dr. Asman, Dr. Alaman, Dr. Amali, technology. So, and it just so happens that we have this, women empowerment platform. And I almost feel like I feel like we've been failing empowering so many women because we didn't focus on this, and I just feel really guilty. And now I feel like we have to do a lot to catch up to, because I don't think you can really empower women unless they have the knowledge and, you know, like having the newspaper in front of them every day to know that, hey, this is what Dr. Asma had to say. This is what Dr. Mahali, this is what is going on in the real world. And this is how I can better take care of my family. Because I don't think you can empower women and children without having this information that you have. So I always used to say how important sports is in empowering sports and nutrition, how important sports and nutrition are in empowering little girls, in school. But now I think this is much more important that that we have this, and I would love to add this as one of our main initiatives, Dr. Alama, into the organization, where we can talk about this every day, and we can send out a newsletter every single day. And one of the reasons we try to do as many major events throughout the year, it's this constant reminder to everyone that, hey, women are here. You need to empower them by funding, by this, by giving them an opportunity, so uh, I think it's very important that we always want to be in their face to remind them, you know, we don't want 2, 3 months to go by without an event because we want to remind them. We're constantly, but now with the newsletter that we can put together, um, this is really fascinating to me. I'm really honored and really blessed to be able to hear all of this because I feel like, wow, I thought we had done so much, but now I feel like that we have a lot of catching up to do in the medical sector. And I had 2 surgeries last year. Um, I never had any surgeries in my life, but I now, from experience, I had appendicitis surgery in uh, March, and April. A month later, I had a hernia surgery, and they were small, minor surgery, but I cried every day like a baby. I realized I'm not tough at all. And then I started thinking, how do women have children? How do women go to work, become our mothers, and you never complain? And we just take for granted that we think you're always okay, but yet we get a cold as men and we're crying. A little fever and cough will bring us to our knees. So, I found out last year that how I've been taking my health for granted, and now listening to this, I don't know, it's like God speaking to me saying, "Wow, you know, uh, we really need to do something about it." So, again, thank you guys so much. I'm really my eyes. I feel like you took my brain out of my head and shook it and put it back in. So, yes, we'll circle back with you, Dr. Alama, to do something major at our next event and bring these initiatives up. And I really want to talk about the research. I mean, that really shocked me. And I almost want to chastise and scold many of the world leaders that were involved in that this is happening, and we didn't know about it. So, but I will promise you, Dr. Asma, that this is going to stay in my heart and mind, and I'm going to be talking a lot about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Daniel. For sure. I will not say I will bring because I don't used to do it by myself, but we will bring to you Global Innovation Institute Global Innovation Summit, Women in Biotech, Women in Global Health, and Dr. Amna Space Talk. We will bring all of them to you and to your next event. We are not going to make news, but we are going to make impact, inshallah. As ever, as we know how to do it. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. And now let's say uh, it will be brainstorming. Last questions. 3 last questions to all of you. And this will be your last word, the last, not the least, but the most important. then we need you to be very focused. This question is for all of you, and I will ask each one of you to take 1 minute to answer for to that first question. We will start by Dr. Asma. Where are the most critical gaps between innovation, regulation, and investment? Why this three? We need to innovate what we already done, but we need a very strong regulation and compliance to guide, to control, and to make sure that action we are going to take will not be against population, against health, against our system, against our economic, but will be add value for that. And investment, because we need to invest to innovate, we need investment to improve our regulation, and we need innovation and regulation to make a very strong and sustainable investment today. The floor is yours, Dr. Asma. Dr. Asma? Okay. Then before we will give you time to fix your mic. Let's give the floor to Anna.
Thank you, Dr. Alama, for your question. So, from my humble perspective, the real question is about alignment again, no? So I believe by integrating the researchers and the scientists within the decision-making process at the early stages, not once the funding is done, not once the decisions are done, no, at the earliest stages, when the impact is still doable, is feasible, it will enable the connection between regulation, between science itself and innovation and regulation and compliance, but also will enable the inclusive implementation, as we mentioned, socially inclusive, socially responsive investment, which is actually the one which is realistically responsive to what we are living nowadays. So definitely introducing researchers and scientists to the decision-making process is the key response, the key answer to your question, from my experience.
Thank you. Yes, now we can hear you. Thank you, Anna.
Sorry for this.
Let's give back the floor to Dr. Asma.
Yeah, sorry.
Doctor?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
So what I was saying is that, in my opinion, the gap comes in that the science is really moving fast, but rules and funding are really slow. So this is the problem. This is the gap between science and regulations and innovation. And the new discoveries are not reaching the patient very quickly. Why? Because of the regulation. We really face a really important, very strong problem in the regulation and the official things, signing the papers. So this makes the discoveries reach really slow to the patient. So the investments regulations, they are not really well connected to each other. So this is the gap that I see between science and regulation and innovation.
Thank you, Dr. Asma. Let's give the floor to Dr. Daniel, please.
Well, I have a great idea to do a major event with all of you, and I bring the financiers, the decision makers from around the world, kind of like a mini Davos, where some of the most powerful people get together. But we bring them, and we know how to get them here, and and the rest is up to you, really, because you're really impacting me in such an incredible way today that now I see the great importance and I see the gap, and I feel like on our part, we have those decision makers and but they need to hear what you have to say. And I don't think it's, one event a year. People are coming to Dubai. It's the most sought after city in the world now. People are looking for excuses to come here. In the United States, Las Vegas, Nevada, became the conference capital of the United States because people wanted to go there and have fun and enjoy and see it for the first time and gamble, whatever. But, so people are doing the same thing now. They're coming to Dubai and they're looking for an excuse. Oh, I have to go to this conference. I've got to go here. But, that's the idea, is getting them here and having these conferences and bridging the gap and using our social media access and the members of our organization to, to record you while you're on stage and send that virally all over the world, because everybody here is from somebody else, somewhere else. Everybody in Dubai is from somewhere else. And so I think that's on my part, I see a great opportunity is bridging the gap by bringing the decision makers, the policymakers, the bankers, the lawyers, and the funders, and then bring this incredible information that you have. And I can for sure be on stage and talk to them about the great importance, the importance it is to listen to you, to hear this, why it's so important for our organization to make this happen in conjunction with you guys, is because our health depends on it. How many more lives could have been saved during COVID? And how many lives you did save because of your research, because of funding, because of, being in the position you're in, which is really the very most important position. Because as I said, I had 2 surgeries last year, and I realized that I'm not tough at all. I realized that no, without health, it's meaningless. So again, thank you guys so much. Really, I just feel like, wow, now this is my answer: is bridging the gap by bringing, you geniuses together and having that platform to share with us what you're saying, and me leaning on these decision makers and policymakers and bankers and lawyers to do something about it, So.
Thank you. Thanks to Dr. Daniel. Let's give the floor to Mahali. The future is on your hand. Digital, we cannot do anything without digital. Finance is going to be a digital platform, health, research, wealth management. You are on our stage today, the one who is driving the future. Let's say that all of us, our future is depending on you. Even money's future is depending on you. Then the floor is yours.
From my side, thank you, Dr. Alama. From my side, I think the gap is mostly into into regulation expectation and operation. By that I mean what is expected and the regulations are not fitting with operation and the reality. Let's say, for example, in the technology part, let's say biotech, okay? Even though we want sustainability, we want fundraise, we want all that, at the end of the day, before anything, they will need to share education, to share knowledge, to make people aware of the sustainability part, to make people aware of how to operate and align with that. Same for providing the right support as a second hand, even though the regulation and expectations are here, they guess the support and it's not exactly fitting with the operation needed. So let's take, for example, in technology, today if and let's take ChatGPT, okay, which is one of those tools that all of us use today, okay. So ChatGPT today, what people don't know about, to make it sustainable and to make it climate friendly and all that, it has to follow certain rules, but it's totally different from the reality. Today, if they have to fit into those rules and those expectations, they will have to change all their operations, and all that has a cost. Because you, as a user, they have to educate you because you probably don't know that when you send a message on ChatGPT, just an emoji or just to say please, even though I know you don't want AI to take over and kill you in the future, by just sending please to ChatGPT, he's processing what she's meaning by please. So all that is going to a server and it's using so much energy, and this energy, okay, let me tell you how things are really happening in ChatGPT. Okay. So when you send a message, it's receiving into their servers, but those servers get hot very fast. Okay. So they use water to cool down. But when they use this water, it goes, it evaporates in the air. So this is not climate friendly at all. Whenever you're sending please, it's not climate friendly. I know you don't want to feel bad about the AI to be sad, but it's not climate friendly. And that's something you have to educate users. But it's time, it's money to educate them about how to use the platform, how to be sustainable. And in the other hand, if they want to be sustainable and to be climate friendly and all that, they will have to change all their process. They are working on it, but technology today is limited. They are thinking about quantum computers. Quantum computers are not where they are supposed to be in 5 years or 10 years. It's not there yet. So today we can't rely fully on quantum computers. For those who don't know what is a quantum computer, it's a computer that is way more faster than a normal computer. And it's not heat. It's not based on heat. It's based on cold. So he can process more data, more information, and faster without exploding. Today, everything will be like boom if you just over format. So you have to regulate everything. So in the operation side, even though regulation is asking something, funding thinks something, there is the reality of the market. And there is the educational part. It's not just us to educate people, it's also the company to educate people about their product. They know how things are going. And all that has a cost. It takes time, it takes operation, it takes a long time. But we expect change just within 10 years. Sometimes it's need 100 years. So that's the gap I see so far, and I hope it helps and aligns.
Very helpful. Thank you so much, Mahali. As all of you know, in global innovation, we are more action oriented. As I said previously, we need to take action. We don't need perfection at the beginning, but we need to take action, and we can make action perfect uh, 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 on the way. And my next second question to all of you, I will ask you in 3 words from your expertise, what concrete actions should be prioritized in the next 3-5 years? Let's start by Dr. Asma.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Alama, for giving me the chance to answer this question. So in my opinion, there are 3 things we should focus on. The first one is to focus on early disease detection, which means that we need to do basic research, because if we can detect the disease earlier, we can manage, we can put plans, we can do prevention. The second thing, which is really important for our research, is the fast approval from the policymakers, fast approval for our research and new tests and vaccines. And I will give you one example, one of the challenges that I faced. This is a real example. I applied proposal for a new research on integrative oncology. I submitted my proposal in July, and I just got the approval 2 weeks ago to start my research. And in the previous 2 weeks ago, the previous 2 weeks, I was really struggling with the IT department to get the data from the hospital, the data about the patient to start my research. So can you imagine, from July until now, I got the approval for the research proposal. So it really slowed down the process. Also, the third thing is, so the first one is to focus on early disease detection, basic research, on faster approval for the research, and also stronger support to move the research from the lab to the real world. We really need support. We really need grants. We really need money in order to do all of that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Asma. Very, very important point you mentioned. Let's give the floor to Anna.
So definitely very connected to what just Dr. Asma mentioned, removing regulatory constraints, scaling compliance, in a way that it will not become a constraint, or at least reduce the timing. It will always be a constraint. Let's be honest. Let's be realistic. But prioritizing, right? Prioritizing the action, the outcome to the compliance itself. So it is a double, triple effort, but it's worth it at the end of the day. And definitely also building scale pathways, scalability structures that will definitely enable and make this compliance constraint avoidance, and the scale pathways will allow us to remove those constraints and to make it to make the process more agile, which is what we are lacking throughout this process, I believe.
Thank you, Anna. Dr. Daniel?
Yes. Please go with the question again.
Question is, what concrete actions should be prioritized in the next 3-5 years?
Everything you guys talked about, awareness. I mean, really, I think this is going to be one of our major initiatives to, how many millions of people have been wiped out because of a disease, because of something we didn't know about. So, it's it's really humbling to hear all this. And thank you again for having me here. You really have, and now I will not sleep tonight. Thank you. Um, but it's really important. I think awareness on my part is talking to um, as many people that have real influence in the world that are part of our organization. And I think every time now that I have a meeting with one of our um, major members is to bring this up, and I would love for you to send me, if you can send me a summary of the points that we covered and everything that we went over, because I would love to make sure I have this right in front of me wherever I go and whoever I talk to. That's a major influence and a decision maker and policy maker and the finance houses around the world that we're a part of to bring this up. And so I think that's the major thing over the next 3 to 5 years. And yeah, so I think that's our agenda for 2026 now. We'll put that on our books to and also collaborate. I really would love to collaborate and do um, major events with you guys and speaking about this. And I don't care if it's redundant and we keep talking about the same thing over and over, but we need to constantly be reminding people of the importance of research and funding and bridging the gap and technology and you know you can't have a family without this information. Really, it's almost dangerous to have a family today without having this information. So I think that's the next 3 to 5 years that I think.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Yes, we will share with all of you as we used to do the recording video and the report of the webinar with the takeaway recommendation and message. You will receive it shortly, inshallah. I will give the floor to Amahali.
So on my end, I see three major ones, which is more centralizing operation. By that I mean I listen to what you guys are saying all this time, and it's all bring to the same problem. You don't have the fund. Sometimes you don't even know where to find it, and the right people are not listening to you. Even if they fundraise or they give you grants, then they need also to see what's going on with this money. Same for if it's a business or anything else. I feel like all this operation is just fragmented everywhere, and we don't know where to look at it more. We don't know what's going on. Even if you fundraise somewhere, you don't know what's happening. Even if we can't see, there is no traceability, there is no data, there is no clarity, and I think that's make it obvious that we have to centralize this operation, and we have to connect them. We have to make them work together. And I'm not talking about collaboration network or you connect the network. No, like the operation and the action and make it more efficient, make it shorter. Because sometimes you pass 6 months to fundraise a project, sometimes 9 months. I was even to 9 months to fundraise a project. You have time to kill so many people, especially in health industry. I don't think it's the best way to operate. So centralizing operation is one of the most important and make it more efficient. Second one, I think it's focusing on the right action to make it smooth. That will need expert, it will need iteration, it will take time, probably 5 years of doing it again and again and reshaping the workflow to make it efficient. For example, if it's a business that is needed for fundraising, I think for that one they can focus more into the grant. If they are early stage, let's say today, I don't think there is even a grant to establish a business. I met so many businesses that they are early stage and they can't even becoming a business officially. But they are building things. They just have to focus on the right thing. For example, in their mind, Why will I officially build a business if I don't have the product? Let me put my money first into building something because I have to decide where I have to put the money. So that's how they are thinking. They have little amount of money, and they have to think where is the priority to put that, and their action is that way. So if we know, okay, early stage are surviving, we have to put this action and this one. So priority action to take over certain stress that they can have. It can be very interesting, and also having the strategic partnership, which are faster, not just, oh, okay, we sign an MOU and we will see later on. No, you sign action. Everybody say what they need and we do something out of it. But I feel like there is too much talking, less action. So if we can focus more into efficiency, it can be it can be good, I think. So efficiency is the third most important part for me. And actions, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mahali. Very important point. As we used to say, the quality of leadership is is we can see the quality of leadership in the operational side of each project. Talking about collaboration in Global Innovation Institute, we believe that innovation is based on collaboration, but not only collaboration, the quality of collaboration. Collaboration in all stage, between gender, collaboration between generation to reduce the gap and to make sure that the future generation will follow the lead, and collaboration between sector. In our webinar today, we can see how we are giving importance to the collaboration between gender, the collaboration between sectors. It's very important. And we are the next and last question to close the panel will be about the collaboration between countries. The collaboration between countries. We believe that alone we cannot be efficiency. If we want a sustainable action, efficiency and efficacy, we need to work together with aligned mindsets and very well coordinated actions. Then my last question to our great and high level speakers today will be: how can cross-border collaboration accelerate climate aligned biotech impact? 1 minute to each one to give me one word about your perspective. Let's start by Dr. Asma.
Thank you, Dr. Alama. Actually, collaboration is really important. As Dr. Daniel mentioned, and thank you for your initiative. It's sharing awareness, sharing data is really important. So briefly, between the countries, instead of competing with each other, instead of competing which one is more advanced, which countries have better research or better health. So in collaborating between different countries by sharing data, aligning regulations, investing together, sharing the experience, it all can develop and scale climate resilience, health solutions much faster. So this is what I believe in.
Thank you, Dr. Asma. Anna, please.
So I would say due to the historical and demographic background of each of the countries, unavoidably each of us, have certain strengths, and each of those systems have been developed in a certain have gained more expertise, more strength in certain fields, certain scopes that we should cross leverage to complete each other's framework, to complete each other's structures, so we can progress together in terms of investment, in terms of science, in terms of innovation, in terms of awareness, as Dr. Daniel very well mentioned. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Dr. Daniel, please.
Yes, again, I think for me, it's all about awareness. You know, I feel, again, really guilty that I didn't put more attention to the medical sector, healthcare sector, and, I think for me, I just feel like I want to tell the world about this now and use all our media outlets and influencers and leaders and give them this information. So for me, I think again, bridging those gaps, you're the missing piece that I needed to hear, and just bringing you together with what we have. And but again, the more we talk about it and the more we share with others the conversations we're having, and we're bringing two different worlds here together, which is mine of the access, and yours the knowledge of real information. That's just so critical. And thank you again for dedicating your life, your passion, and being humanitarians in these efforts and what you're doing, because our lives depend on it. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Mahali.
So yes, on my side, I think collaboration between each country should not be for all of them. By that I mean, it has to be purposeful. Each of them have different needs, different opportunities, different advantages, and let's talk about that gap. If we know what they're missing, and country A have what country B is missing, and the other way also, they should collaborate, but it should be more purposeful, more aware, understanding how things are going, instead of just, oh, there is this country, let's go there and see, or the other way, because it will just bring more noise than result. If it's, as Daniel say, more aware, Asma say, she was talking about the fact that they can, collaborate and all that. I'm like, it should be just a bit more smart than AI exists, let's do sustainable, let's do this.
Thank you.
That is on my hand.
Thank you, Amahali. Thank you to all of you. It was very interesting to share this panel with you. Thanks to you, not only to making time to be here with us, but to accept to share your experience with us in Global Innovation Institute. Our mission is not to involve people, but to make them comfortable to involve themselves alongside our mission to innovate and to make tomorrow better than today. And you share your expertise with us. It's the most important things and the most important and big gift we can give to next generation. We can give to our all sectors around the world. And before to close the webinar and to give the floor to Dr. Amna, my sister and my co-leader. We are together leading the community of innovation in sustainability and climate. I'm very more than happy to work with her, and more than happy to collaborate with Jeddah. They are doing a very great job. I would like to thank all of you, and to tell you we are not here only to speak. We are here to take action and to orient our action by your speech. Then we will take action, we will continue to take action, and we will keep speaking, we will keep talking, not to change mindset, but to make people mindset and to feel them comfortable to join us to innovate together in all sectors, inshallah. Thank you so much. Dr. Amna, my sister, floor is yours for your closing keynote speech.
Thank you, Dr. Allama. So, as we conclude today's webinar, let me highlight that sustainability has become a fully strategic factor. And meaningful process depends on collaboration across sectors. On behalf of the Sustainability and Climate Innovation Community, Global Innovation Summit, and Global Innovation Institute, we extend our sincere appreciation to our speakers for their insights and to our audience for joining us. Thank you for being part of this meaningful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. See you next time, inshallah. We will share with you shortly recording video and the report of this webinar. Thank you so much. Have a good night and a very great week, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.